Muy perfecto.
You can let that one ride though.
He's not.
I be waiting on the beat to drop.
Okay.
Okay, I can rock with it. What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy LeChester, man. Back with another episode of the What You Mean podcast. I am your host, LeChester.
And I'm your co-host, Kim.
And, man, you already know, man. Thanks so much for coming back and rocking with us, man. We got a whole new deal going for y'all for the month of June, man, because you know that it is Father's Day month. If you've been listening and tracking with us and listening to our podcast every single week, then you know that we highlighted some mothers in the month of May, each and every Sunday for the month of May. And we're doing the same thing in June for our fathers. So I got a special guest here to slid through, you know what I'm saying, drop some gems as far as being a father goes. But I ain't got to tell y'all about him because y'all know I talk too much. I'm going to let him tell y'all about him. Earl, you got the flow.
All right, what's going on, everybody? First and foremost, man, I appreciate you for, reaching out to me and inviting me to just talk about, just being a dad. My name is Earl. I'm married to a beautiful queen, Ashley Lester. I got two beautiful princesses, Elise Lester, my little gymnast, and I got another one that's just full of life, which is my little character, is Alyssa. So, other than that, man, it's a lot that I can really just go into, but I'm really just trying to focus more on just telling y'all some good stuff about, just trying to be a good dad.
Man, that's what it is, man. We can appreciate that, man. So it's about to be a whole little vibe in here, man. We're gonna talk a little crazy, just cause it's a fellow frat brother, you know what I'm saying. But we definitely still gonna, drop the gems or whatever the case may be. So thanks so much for tuning in and checking us out and listening. And again, thanks for actually being on the platform. So I guess I'll go ahead and start this off like this, so the youngest baby. How old is the youngest baby?
Three.
And the oldest is
8.
So 8 years ago, when the wife told you that she was pregnant, what was your initial response? Like, how did you feel?
Like, dang, it's about to be real. I mean, it wasn't like a bad feeling because, the one I'm with, I know she 100% official. We've been through a lot even before we even got to that point, you know what I'm saying? So It was one of them things to where, like, if that happened, we was pretty much kind of prepared and ready, you know what I'm saying? But it was just when it still happens, it's just like, dang, I'm about to be a real dad out here.
Real dad.
How did you feel about having a girl, though, specifically, opposed to being a boy?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It took a minute, I ain't had my first kid till I was like 30, and I didn't even, I think naturally I would say I would want a boy, but at the time, it really didn't really matter when it really came down to it, Yeah. So it's like when I had a girl, when I found that out, and I was already talking, when I found out it was a girl, I was starting to just get feedback from friends and a lot of the men that I knew. I was like, oh, so that's how you feel? Or that's what it's like to have a girl? And it was like, now I'm like, oh, okay.
Makes sense.
No, that could be a real good thing. And then, my mentor, who was my grandfather, he a great man. A lot of his daughters, they really take care of him, you know what I'm saying? And just to know that I'm going to have somebody and I see what it's like now that really just truly love me, you know what I'm saying? And not to say that my wife don't, but it's just a different type of love that your daughter has for you. Like, you can't do no type of wrong. And knowing how they really took care of my grandfather, just knowing that somebody's always going to have your back, that's a big feeling. So I'm just blessed and glad that I had a girl.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Because I know. Because I know when the second daughter was coming along and I had found out that the wife was getting ready to have another baby, I said, bruh, I said, do you want a boy or girl? And your response to me was, Chestnut, I'm going to keep it real, bro. I don't even care. I just want a healthy kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just want a healthy kid, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to give y'all a little backtrack, you know what I'm saying? Give y'all to how we got here. Earl actually was one of the people that I met when I was on the road as a signal. I was going from state to state, city to city in a rental car, and I just so happened to come across this cool cat at Miles College, and we've been friends ever since then. He's truly an entrepreneur. Like it ain't, he just not gonna have one iron in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna have multiple things going or whatever the case may be. Because I definitely want to speak to the fact that you used to sell cars and then you left that and went to something else. So I definitely want to ask the question when we get to that point of did it have anything to do with how it boiled down to time when it came to the wife and the kids and the family and things of that nature? Did that play a role in the decision that you made when you decided to leave that? But Earl was just this entrepreneur dude while he was in school. Like everybody in the city knew who he was. If he wasn't throwing the party, he was working the party. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was literally like picking up the phone like, bro, I think I'm gonna slide up to the hand. Well, this one I'm gonna be it. Just slide through, I got you. So I'm literally showing up, I ain't waiting on no lines, walking straight in the club, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? He opened up his home to me so I could have somewhere to lay my head at. Like it's always been a whole vibe. So when my dog told me that he was getting married, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I knew that the change was coming, you know what I'm saying? And then after the change come, the baby come. And it was like, oh, yeah, so it's for real about the change. But I think the one ideal thing that I've honestly loved about you as a person, brother, is you've been consistent across the board. I don't think you ever wavered in character in who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why your friends are who they are too. Like the light-skinned dude, Mike. Like
that's my brother.
Like this is what I'm saying. Like he done been around for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first moved up here, I was kind of jealous of the relationship that you had with Mike. I felt like you should have had that relationship with me, but it took me a while to sit back and notice the real relationship that you and him had. You know what I'm saying? So overall of all of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give a little background so that the listeners know who they're listening to or whatever the case may be. But you've definitely been like, just a cool cat, you know what I'm saying? So I know that that's bleeding over into when it comes to your relationship, your marriage, and how you're raising your kids. So again, we're highlighting some fathers for the month of June, you know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate you extending the invitation. So one of the things I want you to just go ahead and go into, if you don't mind, like if you got any entrepreneur stuff that's still going on that you're doing right now, and kind of sort of tell us a little bit about what you got going on right now in the moment when it comes to that role.
All right. So right now, like you said, I would just speak as far as right now, I'm back at T-Mobile. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that even when I was doing my entrepreneur stuff, I still got to say I always still had a job. I've always believed, you got to have some type of income still coming in to fund your other stuff, and that's just where I was at. So I've always had a job, and I will say T-Mobile has been a blessing to me as far as allowing me to really maximize my opportunity there and to be able to invest in my other business endeavors. Currently, right now, actually, it's crazy that you said it. I don't want to go too heavy into it, but me and my brother, we already in the process of getting into the the transportation industry. That's a real big industry right now, and
do not have it here, bro.
all I can say is just be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying?
I already know y'all gonna come out swinging for the fences. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's one of the things. I think the other big thing is really just making sure my finances is in order. Like it's crazy. Like not only for me, but just making sure my wife is set up straight, making sure our credits is good, making sure we just make smart investments, and just making sure our kids is straight.
That's what's up, man.
Absolutely.
Well, man, I take my hat out to you. I hope that whatever y'all got going with that whole thing, I heard, let me know.
Most definitely.
I want to ride in style and look like I'm somebody. Because I know y'all gonna be suited and booted and everything gonna be professional from A to Z. You know what I'm saying? So, the last interview that we did, or the last session that we had, I talked to them extremely lot, and it was simply because of the fact that I didn't know her, I guess, as much as our co-host knew, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of sort of going to sit back a little bit and let her, I ain't going to say grill, but she asks a lot of important questions. Like, she's a very spiritual person. Her hindsight on this life is, like, extremely dope. So I got my little things that I want to know, you know what I'm saying, that I'll punch in here and there and then. But I'm kind of sort of going to turn this one over to Kim and just let her go with this one. Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. So being a father thus far, in the 8 years that you've been a father, what's been one of the most important things that you've learned thus far?
Patience.
Ooh.
Patience, you know what I'm saying?
With what specifically?
Marriage, women, like a wife.
We could be challenging.
Wife, family, kids. Just really having patience and more of an understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like, you will get tested in a marriage, you know what I'm saying? But the good thing is if you know who you are, if you and your spouse communication, because I really think communication is a big thing. If y'all communication is real strong, and I think it was a blessing that we both had kids. As far as we're both to have the first kids on both sides. Like on her side, they were looking for a grand. And on my side, my mom was looking for a grant. So we got a real strong support system. So with patience, you know what I'm saying, and having a good support system, I felt like it don't really seem that hard for real, if that makes sense. No, like I really thought it was gonna be a tough thing just from hearing what a lot of other people have been saying with their raising the kids. But I mean, yeah, you're gonna have good days and bad days, but for the most part, I think that because, I've been able to have a good patience and been through a lot, it's been able to help me with dealing with just the whole being married and kids, just kids in general. Like I like to have fun. I'm a big kid. So when I see my little kid, my oldest, I just see a lot of me in her, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I think we were able to connect and vibe. And I think it was a blessing for me to have the second one, even though she's a girl. But me and my first one, connection is so strong. I was really only hoping for a boy, more so for my wife, you know what I'm saying? But now that I got the second one, and I prayed that, please God, let this one have a certain type of clinging to my wife, because the wives will get jealous. I don't care what nobody says.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I can feel it, and I know it. You know what I'm saying? So for this second one to be really like, she still love daddy, but to still have a certain cleanliness to my wife, that's been a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So patience, I would just say that's one of the biggest things.
That's what's up.
I could definitely see that. And even too, just thinking about when I was younger, like my dad and I would go like everywhere, literally like everywhere. Like if he went to the store, I'm going to the store. It didn't matter if it was like the grocery store, 84 Lumber, Home Depot, Lowe's. I'm like, Daddy, I want to go with you. Or like even, what would we do? He would take me fishing when I was like probably 7 or 8. And like even that's something my dad and I still do now, like to this day. Like we'll just go fishing, just me and him. And it's just like really just creating that bond, and that's completely different from my brother. And, like we'd all go there together and everything, but having that relationship is just like, it's super imperative, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
And just to kind of touch on what you said, patience, but I think that's just real important as a dad. Like, don't get me wrong, my mother, I've come from a single parent household, and my mom, she definitely did the raising of me, and I think the one thing when I just look back and why I take it so serious as far as spending time, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, this is the foundation time. And as a dad, you definitely, and especially just having a girl, you want to spend as much time as possible that you can with them and build on that, because little stuff like what you just said, they're going to always remember that type of stuff.
Right.
Like we hold on to it. And then like as we get older and, because like the dynamic changes, obviously, of course. And it's like, even to this day, I'm like, I'm 34, and my dad still treats me like I'm 12. I'm like, Dad, I love you. And you met my dad.
Yeah. Old is good people, though.
He is, but I'm like, Dad, like I'm grown. I'm not 12 anymore. But
it don't matter, man. I don't care how old.
The Glock is loaded.
It's over.
What's one of your favorite things to do with your daughter, though? Or your daughters, I should say.
Well, I'm a sports person, like big time. And to see her perform in gymnastics, it has definitely raised my not only level of awareness but respect for just any gymnast. You know what I'm saying? Like just to see her in practice, I love doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because my daughter, she has a don't like to lose mentality, and she's definitely learning. But I feel like when I'm there and she definitely sees me, it kind of just gets her in line, but at the same time, it's more of a love, respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, my daddy here to really support me, and I feel like when I come through the door and she really makes eye contact with me, it's like I really got to turn it up. So just to know that she has that awareness and wants to just do good, you know what I'm saying? That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what's up, man. I think that with me being at 37, you know what I'm saying, and having been able to like really just tap into that firsthand, I think it's like the one joy of life that I haven't had the opportunity to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Especially with you saying like, when she sees and knows you there, it does something for her bro that like people won't even be able to explain or put it in words. You know what I'm saying? Kind of sort of like somebody had to put it in perspective and tell me one day, like, my mom was telling me about something about my siblings or whatever the case may be. And, you know, I get to a point, you know, sometimes where I just be like, well, just cut ties, you know what I'm saying? And it took a friend to tell me, like, it's a special bond and connection that a mother makes with her child, like when the child is in the womb, right? You know what I'm saying? And that bond, no matter what happens, is something that it's never depleted. It never goes away. Like, that's that woman child. And I'm saying that to tie it into the fact that that feeling that she has when she sees you, bro, it's a feeling that she'll be able to smell something when she gets older, and it's gonna remind her of that. Like, I played football for 17 years, bro, and it's no shade to my dad, because me and my dad have revamped our relationship and definitely built it to what it is now. But dog, I can't recall, and I always say I played football for 17 years, bro, and my dad never seen me play a sport.
Yeah.
My dad never seen me play football, and I wasn't sorry. Like, I started on every level of football that I've ever played, you know what I'm saying? And my dad never seen me play. He never seen me play a game, you know what I'm saying? So for you to be there for her like that, bro, like you said, in these governing stages, bro, because this is what the law for her, you know what I'm saying, as far as what a man is supposed to be, what it's supposed to represent, like you're doing that, you know what I'm saying? And again, that's why you're here, because I knew I know that's the type of dad that you are, you know what I'm saying? Because it's somebody listening that you're gonna drop some gems on tonight, you know what I'm saying? That you're gonna give, like, yeah, this is kind of sort of what I faced, and this is how I pressed through it, or this is kind of sort of like how I helped, because everybody raised their kids differently, you know what I'm saying? With the end result, everybody wants the same end result of creating and help raising a dope child that has ambitions, has dreams, they're respectable, they know what honor is, you know what I'm saying? And they're a great representation of their parents, you know what I'm saying? So however they get there, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, bro, like, you know, I think that the way we're utilizing the platform for the mothers and the fathers that we've talked to and dealt with thus far, we just want everybody to ideally, you know what I'm saying, give somebody something that may help them somewhere along the road, if that makes sense.
Oh, no. Yeah, I do.
You know what I'm saying? So.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, geez.
It's okay.
I literally did. I lost my train of thought. It'll come back, though.
All right, so let's switch gears. So we talked about some entrepreneur stuff. We talked about the fact that you're back at T-Mobile. I know you're doing awesome at T-Mobile, because I've seen if you don't post the accolades, the wife posts the accolades on goals and what you're hitting and stuff that you're doing. At T-Mobile. So I know I asked earlier, like, I know that I sold cars before, you know what I'm saying? And I know that you went into it like head first. Like, I was seeing you creating your own social media stuff, getting flyers, passing out flyers. I was going to gas stations, seeing your stuff. So you were doing your own marketing for you as a sales rep. And I know that selling cars can be extremely time demanding. They want you there Monday through Saturday. They might give you one off day throughout the week or whatever the case may be. And in that world, depending on who you're selling for, if you ain't selling no cars, you ain't making no money. Oh, yeah. So, I want to ask the question of simply did you decide to leave that and go back to what you did? Did it tie into the fact that it was just becoming extremely time consuming when it came to your girls and it came to your wife and the home lifestyle?
No.
Okay.
I would say this. The reason why I went as far as when it comes to brand and promoting, I mean, that's just something that I believe in doing. Like, I mean, you are basically an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? You're working for yourself when you're in the car industry. And, I mean, I don't really just do good with the elements as far as the hot, cold, and all that. So I felt like before I came into that world, I'm going to work smart. I'm going to have a list of the people that I know on the T-Mobile side. I already had that list prepared as far as who I was going to be able to contact, different things like that, because that's more people who I know versus somebody just giving me a cold list of people to call. I'm like, no, I'm going to reach out to the people that I actually know. And then I've already had a presence on Facebook and different things like that. So I'm reaching out, letting people know what I do on Facebook. And then as far as on a branding side, you just got to do stuff different. And then the more people that can view you, the more opportunities you have. So you gotta, do commercials, have a lot of different flyers, go to different type of hotels just to have your face in there. The more people that can view you, the more opportunities that you get. So just on that part, that just come from just the promotional side and just knowing about marketing and branding yourself. And if you're gonna do a picture, don't just do a regular picture. Get somebody to take you a professional picture and then put it out. You know.
Say that again for the folks in the back. Say that again for the folks in the back.
If you're gonna do it, man, you got to spend on yourself. So that's the big thing. Now, as far as the job industry, I'm gonna be honest with you. The car thing, it did me well, but it's the other side of it that I started learning that it didn't sit well with me, because I'm a man of integrity, what I'm saying, character, and a lot of the people that I bring in to do business, they doing business because of me, you know what I'm saying, and when I feel as if in the car industry they want you to be dumb, and I just can't be dumb to a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying. I got to know what's going on, and I feel like you can make money on people without just putting them under the bus, you know what I mean. So it was that, and then the final straw for me is don't play with my money. You know what I'm saying? And in the car business, they think just because you get a $10,000 check, you good. And then if you missing about $3,000 on it, hey, we'll get you back on the next month. Like, no, I need all my money now. So when I see you playing with my money and different things like that, and I have a certain plan and how I got stuff set up, then before I go to another level, it's time for me to take a step back.
Got you.
So is that why, I know you said that you're venturing into something with transportation with your with entrepreneurship? Is that you working in the car industry? Is that kind of what sparked or what drove you to do that now?
Well, no. When I say like transportation, it has nothing to do with the actual car industry though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that you got to go all the way to Atlanta just to rent a Sprinter.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's a lot of ways that, I mean, that's a whole nother topic I feel like that I can go into. That's why. It's not like I'm trying not to be, like I don't want to put the information out.
No,
like
you good.
But
We got a whole nother segment for that, bro. And we're prepping and get ready for season 2 of our podcast. So, that'll be something we can definitely bring you back and covering on what's new segment, or either our Industry Monday, to definitely drop those gems, tell people how they can find you once you got off the ground and got it moving, and stuff of that nature. So, we definitely gonna give you the soil so you can drop them seeds.
It's one more thing that I did want to speak to, and I think I'm definitely, if you don't mind me,
go
add to it. So I would say the next biggest thing too with just the car industry that really you can't take for granted. In my situation, I'm gonna address is real big, because a lot of people don't know that this is something that you have to deal with when you come from a corporate job where you get a certain type of insurance. All right. Mm-hmm. So when you step into the car industry, you basically have to get your own insurance.
Right.
And insurance in the car industry is very, very high. And it's very critical that in my situation, I have to have insurance because I have MS, which is multiple sclerosis. So basically, when I'm looking at also how that taking effect, like when T-Mobile came back into the picture, and I'm still adding how much money I was making with T-Mobile and even what I was making with the car industry and the benefits that was taking care of me, I'm like, well, you know what? I still don't have to work as hard, but the biggest thing for me and my family was more of the insurance piece. So that was another deciding factor into me making that move back to T-Mobile too.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So what's the so if you had to drop a couple gems, man, to kind of sort of just help some fathers that are just starting out. We know you already talked about patience, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I know you don't know Carlos, but he's our mutual frat brother. That's, my dog. And I know a lot of times when Carla first got here, like, he took a step back out the scene, and, like I would hit him up and be like, hey, bro, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Or, try to get with him and hang out or whatever. And he was just like, bro, my dad wasn't really around like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like that. And ain't nobody give me no playbook or no rule book or no guide for this. Like, I got to figure it out day by day as I'm going. So if there was something like a gem that you could drop that could help guys that are listening to this, or they wife in last trimester and they about to be a dad, and they have question marks in their head about expectations or what to do, like what would be some things that you could speak to them and actually like embrace them to be like, what, at the end of the day, bro, it's gonna be okay, but these are kind of sort of some things that maybe may help you out.
I think the first thing that I would just say, and it's just how I was brought up, and it's still true to this day, just pray. Pray about it and be direct with your prayer. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you're going through, just talk to God. You know what I'm saying? Just like he a regular person. Hey, God, hey, check this out, man. my wife, man, she going through it. I need you right now. I need you to give me some type of guidance along the way. Or if I'm having an issue with my kid, I need your help. That's one of the biggest and easiest things that you can do. That's something that you can control, and that's just talking to him. And then at the end of the day, it's still gonna be to you as a man to just go out there and execute it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like most men, they know what they need to do. Sometimes it's gonna be a fear thing, but once you face with it, don't run, pray about it, and then just go handle your business.
Bloop.
I ain't even mad at that one, Earl.
Amen.
I ain't mad at that one at all, boss.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
What's the biggest gem that you got as a man from your grandfather?
So many.
I was just about to say,
So
you said that's your mentor, right?
Yeah. I love that dude, man. I think for him, he was a man's man. You know, my grandfather, you know, he from the South, but he moved up north, you know, to Ohio. That's where I'm from. And, you know, he loved his wife. You know what I'm saying? He loved his wife. He wanted to make sure she was taken care of straight. She didn't have to work. You know, he had 5 kids, 4 girls, 1 boy. And he made sure he worked doubles, triples, anything he had to do to make sure they were provided. If everybody wanted to go to college, he made it happen.
Yeah.
So his biggest thing is, you know, when you the head of your household, you know, you gotta be the rock, you gotta be the leader. You gotta make sure that you take care of your family. So my biggest thing that I really got from that is if you're the leader of your household, you gotta step up. You know what I'm saying? You can't. This is definitely a generation where I'm not knocking it. You know, it does help if you have a double income household, but at the same time, one of the things that I learned is just from my wife, and it was in the Bible that I think a lot of people overlook. Most people think that women are the ones that's supposed to be the one that love their men, but it's really the men that's supposed to be the ones that's the lovers, the one that's supposed to show that love for them. You know, and that's why it's hard for us, but we're really the ones that's supposed to be the more affectionate ones, you know what I'm saying, versus the ones that's just thinking that we're supposed to go out there and make money. So the biggest thing is you make sure that you spend time with them, you know. And I think I need to even do a lot better. I'm more of a shower type versus just always saying it, you know.
Okay,
so,
then drop a bomb for that, because that's me. That's me.
You do got to really take the time to just say, I love you, because those words to, I think, just a woman, it can go a far way. They're going to already go hard for you, but when they just hear that, you know, you never know what type of day that they could be having there. But sometimes just saying, I love you, just giving them a little kiss or whatnot, that definitely goes a long way.
That's what's up, man. What kind of reaction you get from since we're talking about love, man? Like when you hit the door, bro, what's normal what happens when you walk into your crib, bro?
Well, I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. The first thing is just woo sign, because I know my kids gonna attack me. You know, my little ones, they gonna come and pretty much rush me, let me know how their day going. You know, just going through the whole motion. As far as if we just trying to get into my wife, for example, she definitely more reserved, because she know, you know what I'm saying, that's daddy time. You know, it's almost
right.
respect, like that's daddy time.
And that's what more so the question was suited towards. Not you talking about love, and I know the expression you just gave as far as about loving your counterpart, you know what I'm saying? I was more so yelling the question towards like what happens when the girls know their daddy's coming through the door. So I was talking about your daughters.
Oh yeah, man. They
light up.
It's crazy. Yeah. And then when I think about it too, sometimes I just, even though you go through it, but then when you sit back, I don't know, I'm the type of person, like, funny fact about me, like I love to take showers. I can take a 2-3 hour shower just chilling, you know what I'm saying? I know the water bill will be kind of stupid, but I could just literally chill. But a lot of times I'm the type that, like, I just got to be in the zone. I can just let the water hit me, but sometimes I just reflect what, you know, goes on throughout the day. Sometimes I just sit in there and pray about just certain things. But sometimes when I just also reflect, I just think about my little ones too, like just thinking like, dang, God, you really looked out for me, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like these girls really, truly, wholeheartedly love me, you know what I'm saying? And when you feel that and you just take time to just look at that, it just hit a little different.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. Like, it's, bro, so I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit so I can give us kind of sort of, you know, something slightly more to elaborate on. And so the closest thing that probably I've had to a daughter was in my past relationship with my stepdaughter. And like, for instance, for me, it was like she has a phenomenal dad. Like, he gonna be there and do what he's supposed to do. Like that, I never seen that as an issue while I was dating, you know, her mom. But when it came to me, like, I wanted for her to know, like, I'm not trying to take over for your dad, but I'm there for you. So it was like I was always trying to create wow moments for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always extra when it came to like her birthday or, you know, or whatever the case may be. So that was another thing that Carlos said to me as well. You know, your neighbor, your straight across me, he was like, bro, it's something about when you hit that door and they run up calling you daddy. He was like, I can't explain it to you. He was just like, it's just something you have to experience for yourself. So, you know, with that being said, like, even our engineer that's in the booth right now, you know what I'm saying, Jay, he has a little girl. And it's never a day that he don't come in here and talk about his little girl. You know what I'm saying? He love his little girl to the ends of the earth, bro. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they say little girls change you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
What kind of change did it happen in you, bro? Like,
oh man, they got you doing all type of crazy. My daughter, she's like a girl, you know, like, even though she all about her sports, she's a girl, like, she, you know, Barbie dream house. She liked to do hair. One day she put a whole bunch of gel on my hair, had me looking like Eddie Ruffin. It was.
So you let the baby put gel in your hair?
You got to. It's
that
whatever.
is true.
It's whatever.
Wow.
I used to paint my dad's nails.
I mean,
really?
Make him do tea parties. Mm-hmm. Watch Beauty and the Beast.
And the dad's with it.
Yep.
You gotta understand, man. When you got a girl, I guess this is my thing, and I ain't trying to switch it.
No, you go.
But I think for me, I guess when you have a wife, when you got kids, it's almost easy for you to do stuff like that, because it's like, I ain't doing nothing like this for nobody else except for these right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just easy to accept stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, I if you're gonna do that, I want to be the first. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do that, we do whatever. I want daddy to be the first. I want you to be comfortable with feel like you can come play with me, you can come talk to me. That's all about building that trust. And if you take that away from a kid and you push them away, I mean, they're gonna do that with somebody else. So let them be comfortable with doing stuff like that with you.
Okay, Jim, I'll take that.
Just saying.
I'll take that.
It's a bomb.
Look at him.
I'm just saying. What's it mean to you to be a girl dad?
It's a great thing, you know. I mean, it's tough to really even. I mean, words can't even express about being a girl dad. You just when you go through what you're going through as a dad, and you realize, like, it just make you feel like, when you look at other situations on people who not doing right by their girls, you know what I'm saying? That really just make you look like, bro, I mean, what's going on? You know, it make you, even if you do see something like that, it makes you want to talk to another guy, you know what I'm saying, about how to raise or how to do right. It just makes you want to put a little bit more effort when you see somebody going through something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you really love your daughters, you know what I'm saying, you're going to go over and beyond. So if you know if something's not right, you know that sometimes you might need to just really sit down and talk to that person, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I just can't see why a person wouldn't want to be a girl dad, just because of all the benefits and all the love and different things like that you're going to get from them.
So what you not ready for? Because you got an 8-year-old, bro. So
I can tell you this.
What you not ready for?
You know what? You know what's crazy? I mean, obviously you're going to say you're not ready. I think the first thing would obviously be you're not ready for the boy situation. But right. I think for me, when I saw, and I'm talking, I want to take it back to before she hit 8. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna just say something that's real. You know, my daughter, she's at Clear, and I've always been brought up in a predominantly all black inner city type thing.
Right. And
it's a different type of attitude and behavior that you could kind of have, because most kids are black, your teachers are black, or even if they are, you know what I'm saying, what's the word, a Caucasian teacher, they still know how to deal with it because they've been around them and teaching them. But being in Calera now, it's different, you know what I'm saying? And then we're in the South. And, you know, well, how my daughter is, she got a strong personality.
Right.
You know, and she has to have a certain type of respect for you. And if she don't have that, it's gonna be kind of hard for her to listen to you. Well, especially if you come in at her a certain way.
Right.
And with certain type of teachers, if you kind of a target and you have a certain type of, because she has a great personality, you know what I'm saying? She'll fill up the room, you know what I'm saying? She's going to say what's on her mind. I teach her, you know, don't hold back. Still have respect, but don't hold back when you say certain stuff.
Right.
And the hard part sometimes is just knowing that your black confident daughter is going to be viewed a certain way if you don't conform or act a certain way that a teacher wants you to act. So that was my biggest thing sometimes. Is just like, I know this teacher gonna think a certain way if they might talk or if they might not listen or if something happens, and she's the type of person that, I'm gonna give you a scenario. It was a kid right at her school. She hit the kid, but the kid, come to find out, had hit her, but didn't say nothing. She didn't catch it. And my daughter, I hate to say it, she the type of person, if you hit her, she gonna get you back. But the thing is, the principal had an issue with it because when she was talking to her, my daughter wouldn't talk to her. She wouldn't talk to her at all, you know? And she called me. And when I came to the school with the teacher right there, you know, I asked her, I said, hey, talk to me. So what happened? And then she told me just like this. She said, well, we was in the bathroom doing such and such. And then the girl, she had hit me. And then I guess she ran off or whatever. And she said, as soon as I saw her, I hit her back. And then she said, oh, so that's why you hit her? I said, now, you know you ain't supposed to do that, right? And she said, I know, Dad, but she just made me so mad. Like, she was just talking to me. So after, you know, we was conversing back and forth, then, you know, the principal was looking like, so why you just didn't tell me that? And right off the bat, I said, it's nothing personal, man. I'm her dad, you know what I'm saying? One thing about it, and I'm not going to say she ain't going to lie to me, but right now, she's at the point to where I've told her, you tell me what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Right. And when you see that, and then I think even the teacher saw that, I think that showed like you got to have a certain level of respect too, you know what I'm saying, to get certain things. And I still feel like when you see that, and I feel like somebody else sees that on the outside, like, dang, they do have a strong bond. Like she thought like by calling me, like, you about to get in trouble, this, that, and the third. It's different because my biggest thing is just teaching her, just don't lie. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just if you did something, own it, but just don't lie about it.
Gotcha.
So,
that's understood.
So just know if you got a black girl, you know what I'm saying? I think with any black father, if you got a black strong willed, carefree type and just kind of gonna speak on their mind, I think the biggest thing that you got to try to learn to do, you want them to be like that, but you just know, especially in this day and age, if you do that, you're gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's a different way that if you get in trouble for just little stuff like that, then now they start to build a report on you and they just look at you like a bad student. But it's not necessarily like that. It's just that's a situation to where certain kids just don't know how to just say, nah, I'm gonna let that go, stuff like that. So
yeah. And this speaks volume to the educators that we have nowadays too, man. I mean, you think about when we was coming up in the school system, Earl, like, bro, I can name in all of my years when I went through school, man, I think I might have seen 2 attractive teachers, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really basing it on physicality. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking trash for real, but we real life. And I'm not saying that people straight out of college not ready for it. I'm just saying, bro, we literally got 21, 22, 23-year-old educators entering to the school system that are kind of sort of in a sense like, I ain't gonna say they're not adults, I ain't gonna say they, you know what I'm saying, still kids, but these are the people that are teaching our children. And a lot of people don't understand what rapport is, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand how to build rapport with their students so their students will be open and tell you what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like they literally, like being an educator is something that you have to have a passion for. It's not a McDonald's job where you go and work 9 to 5 to get a check. Like you have to have a passion for that, especially in Alabama, number one, because you ain't making no money.
Yep.
And you putting up with people's children more than they had to put up with them.
Right.
So if you don't have a passion for that, then you're going to be in situations like that where the kid won't talk to you because guess what? It ain't even really the kid's fault. It's the fact that you don't know how to talk to the kid.
That's it.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't trust you either.
Yeah, that too.
You know, like,
Like it was time when Kylie, I don't think Kylie lies to her mom at all, but it'll be just certain times, bro, when I know that, you know what I'm saying, my ex will be having a bad day. Like, it's cool. Let me talk to her. Let me help her with her homework that day. And it'll be times that she would talk to me more than she would actually talk to her mom. And it wasn't that they had no bad relationship or something. It's just like sometimes like the type of rapport, the type of relationship that you have with certain people allow for you to maneuver just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I think everything that you said really, really points to that. Going back to the base of just, if you're an educator, build a rapport with your students. Because a lot of times when you have a rapport with your students and something like that happen, you probably already know who did what if you got a rapport with your kids.
This is true.
Like you won't know, like, I know she didn't do that. Like there was a reason why she done that.
You
Like,
really
you know what
talk
I'm
to
saying?
see what really happened. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Are you really gonna believe it? And then just to throw this out there, because my wife just trying to, you know, give definitely respect for the teachers too. She's a online, you know, virtual teacher also. But the biggest thing that I just see in her situation, just because Calera as a whole, you know, I don't know if y'all know, but that's like one of the fastest growing cities in Alabama. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I noticed, 'cause like I said, I go to my daughter's school, you know, I talk to the teachers, I see what's going on. I go up there on her lunches. You know, I go because she loves Chick-fil-A. Like that's her big thing. It don't matter what it is, she loves Chick-fil-A. So
stop.
And I do Chick-fil-A, and I do Chick-fil-A. One is because that's what she loves, but two, to spend time, but three, the biggest reason why I feel like if you can, as a dad, if you can go to your daughter's school to just spend time with her, one, let your presence be known, because she could literally be going through a bad day, but if she see you come through that door, it could literally turn that day around.
Right.
So that's a big thing. But one thing that I notice sometimes, and I think that's just the big thing that I feel like schools are going through right now, is just having a consistency of teachers, one, being there, because you got to be there kind of consistent in that, especially at a young age, because if you got substitutes coming in and out, that's another reason why they're not going to really build a rapport. Secondly, at her school, you know, the school has gotten so big to where they had to sometimes multi-teach. You know, they had to have two teachers in the classroom, so that was a different experience.
Dang.
So that's why I say a lot of that stuff, it is a lot, but I still think if you're a good, really passionate teacher, you're really going to really take the time out to really get to know your students, and you should know how they are. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Well, bro, man, as always, bro, it's been some years. I think the last time we seen each other, I was at Carlo house.
Yeah.
I think that was last time. And then the time for that, man, I came to your surprise birthday party. Mm-hmm. And I had my curls in my hair. So everybody was talking about me.
you came a long way too, man. Just to like y'all don't even know. Like it was crazy. Like I don't know if it was 7-8 years ago. It was a Facebook picture that popped up, and I said, "Dang,
Standing outside
my
of
boy was
Zaxby's.
really thugging it. You know, black and mild, long
Thugging it.
hat.
Yup.
I said, oh,
Hey, it's
he done
a
came a long way,
picture
like,
of
for real.
me and him after a party. We was either after a probate party or something. Mm-hmm. We standing at you had the Charger.
Yeah.
The black Charger. We standing up in the parking lot at Zaxby's in the Palisade in Homewood. And I'm literally standing out there smoking a black and somebody took a picture. That's what he talked about.
Oh.
Like, I literally, every time I used to come to Birmingham, like, I did not come to Birmingham and not see what the hell he had going on. Like, it was always that, bro. So, but I can say the same thing about you in retrospective, bro. It's just, you can kind of see greatness in people sometimes, bro. Just a matter of when they gonna hit that greatness, you know what I'm saying? But I've never gotten a bad vibe from you that you was not gonna take off and just do, you know what I'm saying, like great things. Like I feel, I've never heard anybody really say anything bad about you. I can't say the same thing about me because I know people talk crazy about me all the time. But when it comes to you, you know what I'm saying, I've never heard anybody say anything bad for you. Like, I mean, I wanted to say something bad when you let Terica boyfriend come over there, but you know that's neither here nor there. I gotta beat that out. Remind me to beat that out. Remind me to beat that out. I was like,
You over here telling folks a business?
it was my business at the time.
It ain't your business no more.
It ain't.
That's the homie T. That's my homie.
But yeah, man, Thank you so much for coming through, bro, dropping gems, bro, and you know, just talking to us and letting us on the inside of like fatherhood for you. You know what I'm saying? Some new entrepreneur stuff that you got going on. Like I said, we'll definitely try to make sure that we get you back for Industry Monday or What's New segment for our second season. And hopefully you'll be in advanced a little bit more and you're actually ready to talk about what you're doing in that aspect, man. And, so we got a little thing that we always do, man, and I want to give you the opportunity. So we already kind of sort of told you where your camera was. So you can kind of sort of do a recap if you want to, but we just want you to drop like 3 gems right now that are going to be encouraging to, it may not be a father that's, you know what I'm saying, married, bro, just a father in general, single father that's doing it on his own or whatever the case may be. Anything you can give them that's going to be inspirational, that's going to be uplifting, you know, and they be like, man, I heard this dude Earl say this on What You Mean podcast, like, that's what I want you to get to people real quick. And then, you know, at the end of that, you know what I'm saying, once you gave those little gems and drop that right there, man, just tell the people who you are again. Tell them how they can find you. I know you slanging whatever you slanging with T-Mobile. You know what I'm saying? If you want to shout out, tell them what store you at. Come holler at you, whatever the case may be. This is the time to do all that good stuff.
All right, cool. So we right here?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So, like I said, the biggest thing I would just say to any man that's out there, first, just keep God first. Make sure you stay prayed up. Whatever you're going through, make sure you get that to Him. The second thing I would say is that I definitely think that's big. Make sure if you got a support system, whether it's your significant other, spouse, your family, make sure you thank them. That can go a long way, man. That's a big thing because it's going to take a village to raise your kids. And if you got somebody that's on your team that's willing to help, don't take it for granted without, you know, thanking them. And last, whether you got girls, boys, just don't take it for granted, man. Just spend as much time as possible. Take as many pictures. Talk to them like a real person at a young age because believe it or not, they're going to retain a lot of that stuff. You don't got to wait, you know what I'm saying? You just got to have real life conversations, spend time with them. But another big thing that you can't take for granted, hold them accountable. It has to be some type of discipline and some type of rules and some type of standard set. Make sure you set those at a young age because if you try to do it and it's too late, it could be over. So that's just the jewels that I have. The way that you can reach out to me, you know, it's just my name, Earl Lester. I'm on Facebook. As far as the store that I'm at, I'm actually I'm managing out at Chelsea. But the great thing, it is going to be a store coming out to Clear. That's also the spot that you can definitely find me at. And that's it, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all having the time to just have me out on the show. Appreciate the questions that you've asked me. And thank you.
That's what it is, man. The music was given while you were talking, bro. Like I'm over here in my whole little mood listening to my boy talk, man.
But these gems were giving though.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying.
So, man, y'all already know, man. Thanks so much again for listening, man, and checking out this podcast. Out of all the podcasts you could have checked out and listened to, for some reason you decided to click on the What You Mean podcast. So we want to say thank you for doing that, man. If you're not following us, subscribe or download our content, make sure you do that. And if you're looking at this right now on Facebook, man, check out the description. There'll be some more information there. Exactly where you can find Earl at and go shop with him because his store sales count. So if you like what you've heard from him, make sure you go holler at him. I can vouch for you and say that if there's something he can do for you, he'll definitely do it, man. So if you're watching again on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the comment button, leave us some comments, subscribe, all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And until next time, man, y'all be good. I'm your boy, Cheston.
And I'm your co-host, Kim.
Until next time, man, y'all hold it down. Peace.